Good morning, Arizona. On this Thursday morning, this is your Arizona's Family on the Go podcast. The heat continues with more record-breaking temperatures. So let's toss it over to Ian for a look at your forecast.
Our long-duration heat wave does continue. Temperatures will be very hot today, 119 degrees. We could even get to 120 degrees. Last time we made it to 119, and we did it yesterday, was 2017. So this is not a temperature we see that often here in Phoenix. Friday is going to be brutal as well, with a high of 119, maybe even 120 degrees. We'll be around 116 for Saturday, 115 for Sunday. And then we'll introduce some storm chances for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. They're kind of low grade. They're in the 20 to 30% chance. Maybe we even get some of those lingering into Wednesday. But all in all, it is going to be a very, very hot day for the next several days. So be sure to stay inside as much as you can, or at least limit your time during the extreme heat of the day. Drink lots of water and check on young kids and elderly, because they are most susceptible to heat-related illness.
All right, Ian, thank you. Well, it's not just the days that are hot right now. We're also setting new records for highest overnight temperature. Those high overnight lows can be really dangerous. That's because heat accumulates in the body over time, making it harder for our most vulnerable populations to cool down and regulate their body temperature. Climatologists say all of Phoenix's sidewalks, asphalt, and buildings absorb heat from the sun during the day and trap it. Then that material releases the heat slowly at night. But the hot nights make those surfaces less likely to cool off, making it very dangerous for people who live or work out on the streets.
When we're not cooling off at night, then our bodies aren't cooling off effectively. And we know we feel that sometimes when we're tossing and turning and can't sleep. Those are impacts to people.
And the state's climatologist says there are ways to reduce the amount of heat being trapped. One, white paint on roofs and buildings has been shown to help. Two, she says planting more trees in the valley that provide shade would make a big difference. And the city of Phoenix is spending more than $1 million to do that. A monsoon storm would also help cool things off, but we're still waiting for those storms. Right now, the power is back on for thousands of homeowners out in the East Valley after a car crash downed a power pole. As many as 4,000 homes were left without electricity and air conditioning for hours at the peak of the record heat yesterday. In fact, most were without power for over 7 hours. On a day the valley hit 118 degrees or higher, Rural Metro Fire responded to a crash that happened near 102nd Street and Quarterline Road in Mesa around 1 o'clock. SRP says the car accident knocked out power to around 4,000 customers. And over the course of the scorching afternoon, power was restored just before 7 p.m. People impacted by this outage say that they were using their car ACs to try to stay cool. Others choosing to run errands so they could be inside cool buildings. One man said besides trying to stay cool, he was worried about saving all of his food, of course.
Took all the stuff out of the freezer, put it all in coolers, and you don't realize how important electricity is until you don't have it.
Rural Metro Fire set up a temporary cooling station for people impacted in the area. SRP is also reimbursing people up to $10 so they could buy ice out there. Several Valley students headed back to school yesterday, and for some it was the earliest start date ever. It's more than a week earlier than last year. The districts made the change to start the year earlier and end the school year later. School leaders hoping a shorter summer will help mitigate learning loss and give teachers more support. A lot of parents were out there yesterday waiting outside to pick up their kids in the heat, with mixed reviews over starting the school year earlier.
The heat is going to make a big impact on recess and getting out of the classroom.
I think it'll be good for the teachers, maybe to kind of, get some rest and, regroup and things like that, and even for the kids too.
Some parents waited in their cars for up to 20 minutes in that heat yesterday. We're hearing from passengers who were trapped on the tarmac in Vegas earlier this week for more than 4 hours while the temperature outside was 111 degrees.
It was just like chaos at this point. There was a woman walking up the aisle. She looked like she was about to just pass out. They ended up putting an oxygen mask on her.
Some passengers say they started getting sick after the first 2 hours on that Delta flight trying to get to Atlanta.
There's ambulances outside the window. There's, multiple firemen. There was fire department came on. A bunch of them went to the back. The sanitary crew came to the back. People had thrown up. People had fainted, gone to the bathroom.
What a mess. Passengers say they were told if they left the plane, they may not get another flight for days. Crews waited 4 hours before finally letting everyone off. Some people passed out and had to be taken off the jet on a stretcher. Delta says they're looking into this to make sure something like that doesn't happen again. Well, as this dangerous heat wave continues, we've created a heat relief guide with resources to help you or someone you know who needs some assistance to try to keep cool. All the cooling centers and much more posted on azfamily.com/heat. Well, some bad news for you this morning. If you were hoping you would win that huge Powerball jackpot, one lucky ticket in California has won over $1 billion. A winner matched all 6 numbers to win the Powerball. The winning numbers were 7, 10, 11, 13, 24, with the Powerball being number 24. Millions across the country were hoping that they would be the big winners. Up north, people from Las Vegas drove into Arizona to try their luck. Believe it or not, Nevada, known for casinos and gambling, does not sell lottery tickets. Our crews caught up with people at the Last Stop Travel Center on the Arizona-Nevada border, many who were full of optimism.
You think positive? Well, you never know. Positive will come your way.
Everybody's coming from Nevada. The state line in California has way too long a line. It's too hot to stand outside. So everybody's starting to come over to the Arizona side and come see us to buy the tickets.
This Powerball jackpot was the 3rd largest of all time. By the way, the Mega Millions is also up there, getting closer to $1 billion. And that drawing will be Friday. For the rest of it, it's back to work. Have a great Thursday, everyone.